Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a while. It's 2020 now. The Beamer is going great. I've done a few little tweaks. I'll show you what I'm up to. Let's have a look. You might see through there. I've put in a bleed point here on this rear master cylinder, and that's finally allowed me to get all the air out of this system. I just couldn't get it quite bled properly, even though I had this thing off completely and up at all sorts of angles. As soon as I put that on, the last bit of air came out, and it's all pumping up nice and hard now. I don't have the pressure switch on here for operating the rear brake light. However, I was going to put that here, which I could quite easily do, but I'm quite inclined to just leave it out completely. You almost never put just the rear brake on, at least expecting to stop quickly. You always put that front brake on anyway, so the brake light will come on. I know strictly it's not road legal, but it also does away with all the extra wiring and stuff, which is it just makes it extra clean. Now, the other thing I've done is I've got these new stainless steel nuts. So I've pissed off those spaces I had here and those plastic covers. I think this looks much cleaner and neater. I've drilled a hole in this nut here, and I've put in a different button here to operate the motor gadget unit. This one has a pretty cool LED built into it, and I've hooked that up as the charge light. This was the charge light, this LED here, but now I've got that hooked up as a headlight indicator. These old bikes with the switchable headlights, it's a pretty good idea to have a light that tells you your lights are on. It is a legal requirement to run your lights on during the day. So this light here it'll flicker at idle, and as soon as you rev it up above about 2 grand, it goes off. That's how your charge light works. If it doesn't go off, you know you've got a problem with your charging circuit. And this switch here toggles through all the modes and the setup menus for your motor gadget. So yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. The bike has also been published on return of the cafe races. They did a bit of a feature. So if you want to go to return of the cafe races, you can read all about the build, and there's quite a few photos in there. So that was pretty cool. That's returnofthecaferaces.com. So go and check that out. So what I'm planning to do now is I finally want to shorten this side stand up. If you will recall from the previous video, now that I've raised the forks up in those clamps, the whole bike sits down a bit lower so that the side stand is a fraction too long. Keeps the bike up at a pretty precarious angle. So I want to take probably about ½ an inch out of that length, and while I'm at it I want to get that stand to sit further up and out of the way, and I'll probably have to move this guy. Of course, this wouldn't be necessary if the head of this bolt wasn't obscured by this header here. It's a bit of a pain in the arse to have to take this off to get it at the side stand. Here we go. Now we just want that to go a bit further up and out of the way instead of hanging down somewhat from the exhaust pipe, so when you look at it at the side, it'll be nice and clean. That prong will have to come down and around a bit, and I need to shorten this guy up. If you haven't got one of these, I made that one. That came with an exhaust system. It's a bit flimsy, but they're so good for removing springs off exhausts and side stands and other springs. Saves your fingers, and it's better than using needle nose pliers and having the springs fly off and all that sort of palaver. So I'm just going to grind that part off there. This is just going to be a matter of trial fit until it gets in the right position. And I think that needs to go a little bit more. This is about the point where I made the rookie mistake of mixing up my record and pause sequence, and I ended up not filming a lot of the scenes I intended to. So sorry about the dodgy footage you're about to see. Now to weld on the little toe tab. So there we have the shortened stand, sitting there up nicely now, parallel to the frame, out of the way. It's ready to go off to the powder coaters. And so there we have it, the bike sitting at the correct angle. What do you think, Lola? You think that's good? You approve? That's much better. It won't be falling over like that.